Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Hello, 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 all. Hello, and welcome to your potentially first Flight Crowds webinar. Hello, hello, hello. First things first, where are you guys based? How are you doing? What's happening in life? What are you up to these days? Let us know in the chat. It's so wonderful to have you all. I know there'll be a number of others joining us later on, but it's good to see some familiar faces and names and a number of new friends as well. Welcome all. Let us know in the chat. It would be great to get to know you. Where are you guys tuning in from? Let's start simple. We've got quite a few different questions prepared for today's session, so make sure you're able to type. Make sure you're able to unmute yourself. Let's start easy. Where are we all based geographically? I can see Josie saying Midlands. I am currently tuning in from Lancashire. I was earlier in Manchester delivering a workshop, but made it to my Lancashire base. I can see we are covering a bit of the North and the Midlands with Josie. What about everybody else? London. Ah, brilliant. Well, hello to folks based in London. We've got a few people in London. We've got Lincolnshire. Yep, okay, we've got a bit of a spread there. More London. Ah, London's winning. Right. Let's see if we have anybody else tune in from anywhere else outside of London. At the moment, we're all kind of, apart from Midlands, we're all very Lancashire, London, Lincolnshire. Love it. Let's see if there's anything else. But thank you so much, guys. It's great that we're all kind of here in the UK. Normally we get a lot of people tuning in from as far as Canada and the other side of the world, Australia as well. So I'm glad we're not keeping anybody up at a ridiculous time of day. So thank you so much for spending your evening with us anyways. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So what is it that we're going to be talking about today? And for those of you who don't know me, hello, I'm Maria. I am the founder of Flight Crowd. And today, really the webinar, the session will be covering what is Flight Crowd? What is it that you guys are here for? Who is this organization that I have created 5 years ago and running alongside, very privileged to run, in fact, alongside a number of dedicated team members, volunteers, young people, academic partners, industry partners, more on that later. But very much introduction to Flight Crowd is what we're going to be covering today. A bit about the history, a bit about why we're here and how we're different to our friends. I wouldn't call them competitors. They're very much friends and colleagues in the educational sector, in the charitable sector, in the industry. And what can you do with us? How can you get involved in the incredible opportunities that we have for you? Welcome to all those who've just joined us recently. We're just sharing where's everybody from. But I actually have another question for you. So another one is actually a poll, and let me see if I'm able to start it. Bear with me a second. There was a way to launch the poll. Maybe not. Oh, yes, there is. Yes, I found it. So help us to get to know you. I've got this question where we're pretty much asking you whether you're a school or college student, a university student, postgraduate, undergraduate, recent graduate, a parent, an educator, or industry professional. I can see people are voting. I've got 3 votes, 4, 5, 6. I like it. Great, it's working. This is good news. So we are today joined largely by school students, college students, and undergraduate, postgraduate, recent graduate. So no parents, no educators, no industry professionals. Well, welcome to all young people. This really is helpful because it will help me tailor my presentation and especially focus on you, on your needs, on your interests. So thank you so much for sharing, guys. Appreciate it. So, next up, now we know who's who. It's me. Who's this woman talking to you? So, for those of you who don't know me, for those of you who haven't met me before, hello, I'm Maria. I'm the founder of Flight Crowd. My background is aerospace engineering, but also product design. I started Flight Crowd 5 years ago because of my passion for the sector, because of my interest in electric aviation, sustainable aviation, future flight, inclusive flight. I do a lot of work with our government. I'm Department of Transport Aviation Ambassador. But more than anything, all the opportunities, all the work that I've done in the sector and with our government, with our industry, all of that led me to starting Flightcrowd, which is exactly what I'm passionate about. It's the young people and it's focusing on the talent, focusing on those who will be creating the industry of the future. On all of you guys, working with you. So some of these pictures that you see here are very much a snapshot of what I do day to day. It's drones flying, it's public speaking. Literally earlier today was pretty much doing both of that in delivering a workshop for King's Trust, one of our partners, delivering boot camps, industry talks, going to industry and advocating on behalf of young people to explain to them what is it that you guys are actually interested in, what kind of opportunities should they be creating to make sure that they listen, to make sure that the future is made by all and for all. Um, I came into the aviation industry with no network and no connections and no roots. And probably like many of you who've been there and tried sending a lot of different applications and emails and never heard back, I was there as well. All those trophies and all those awards that I have won and similar with my team, it wasn't there. And it definitely didn't come there from day one and not even from day two. It took me years, but I really, really rarely heard back when I reached out. And I really didn't feel like there was a community. But everything I've built, my career, my platform, and my confidence, it was built from scratch. Pretty much putting in the evenings, the weekends, and of hard work because I believed in something. I believed in creating a community for people. I believed in shaping our industry to be different. There were a few individuals and organizations who've been extremely supportive, and I'm so grateful that they were. And that really changed everything. We have been supporting, we have been collaborating with them for well, pretty much 5 years since we've existed because they were there for me when I was a student, when I was your age. And I'll come back to kind of the importance of sticking to your tribe and having your tribe. But this is now why I'm writing a gratitude series on my LinkedIn. We'll talk about LinkedIn and all the other things that you can find about us. But if you are following me on LinkedIn, if you aren't, please feel free to connect. If you are, you can see how I'm open and honest and counting my blessings every day and sharing all the stories of all the incredible people who have been there, who've enabled Flight Crowd to grow and become this incredible organization that we are today, and who've helped me to pretty much be on the vogue of aviation, i.e. on the Skyway magazine, which yeah is something I could never dream of. Um, I will come back to why Flight Crowd exists, but this is kind of a bit about me, and I wanted to kind of set the scene. Just normal person, but I really, really love our sector. More than anything, I really love people who work in it. But we have an aging demographic, and we definitely need many more young people coming into the sector, and many more young people to bring your incredible ideas, um, and shape the future to be for all by all. That's a bit about me. Um, I'll stop here. I could talk and talk, you'll discover it. Let me ask you, how familiar are you guys with the future flight sector? It also has another name, air mobility, sustainable aviation. It honestly has so many different names, electric aviation, advanced air mobility, urban air mobility. I've just launched a poll. Please let us know. Are you completely new to the sector? Are you not too sure? Maybe you've heard some of it. Somebody mentioned it before, but you don't really know exactly what I mean. Looked into it a bit, you find it cool and you want to get involved because you know something about it, or you're already involved. Oh, I can see we've got quite a good split. So far, right, I'll give you all a minute. Right, this is, I don't know if you guys can see the poll. Hopefully you can. Let me know in the chat if you can see it. If not, I'm happy to vocalize it. So at the moment we actually have a great split. So 33% find it cool and want to get involved. Great. Yes, we need you all. Stay here. 22% looked into it a bit. 22% as well, not too sure, and 11% completely new to it. So let's just say the vast majority of you here today don't really know too much about it, potentially looked into it, but still open to exploring. Brilliant. And one person's already involved in the sector. Hello, Robin. I know it's you. I can see our director is joined us as well. Robin, say hello in the chat. It'll be great to meet some of the young people here on the call. Thanks, team. I love the interactivity. And by the way, please feel free to put any questions in the chat. Again, I'm keeping an eye on everything. I'm trying to multitask to the best of my abilities. But once again, thank you. Really, really helps me understand who's here joining us today. So let me introduce Future Flight, especially for those of you who don't know too much about it. Let's just, even for those of you who do, let's just get on the same page. What do we mean when we say future flight? What is this sector? Why this sector? Why should you care? So, future flight, again, urban air mobility, advanced air mobility, electric aviation, sustainable aviation. There's loads of different names for this industry. But really, what we mean, and let's just stick to two. Two are my favorite. Air mobility, nice and simple, two words. Future flight, even simpler. Hopefully, we can agree on that. So this sector is all about transporting people or transporting cargo, such as your parcels. It could be blood transportation, it could be organ transportation, it could be medicine transportation, which is already being done, by the way, in London today, as we speak. Um, it's about using new types of aerial aircraft, such as the drones that you can see here, such as electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, or eVTOLs, also known as air taxis and flying cars. Again, we in our sector love acronyms. We're not going to talk too much about that. But it's essentially all about using these new types of aircraft to deliver the public good, to make sure that aviation sector is open to people around the world, because it's not just being developed here in the UK, it is being developed all around the world. By professionals from aviation, from other sectors, and it's really is about democratizing aviation and about making sure that we connect remote communities, etc. I'm getting ahead of myself. This is some of the things that I wanted to talk to you in the next slide. So, why future flight matters. I mean, some of you I appreciate, some of you may be a bit on the fence. And I definitely don't want for this sector to seem like it is only for the healthy and wealthy. What really excites me, or what really got me into the sector about 7 years ago. Yes, I am an aerospace engineer, and yes, I love all things technology. So that is exactly my reason 7 years ago for why I got involved into this industry because of the range of aircraft designs, because of how cool these things look like, right? Let's be honest, if you get onto a normal aircraft going to holiday home or holiday destination, I don't have a holiday home. I don't know why I just really wanted to say holiday destination. You go to an airport and you get on board a flight. Well, let's be honest. Even if you do study aviation at university or college, you will probably still struggle to differentiate every single aircraft you see. I mean, kudos to you if you can. I definitely won't, and I work in this sector. All aircraft to me, not all, some of them look very similar. And to me, as somebody who also did design in the past, I really, really wanted to do and see something different. So this sector was really attractive because of the range, the scale of innovation, and the range of different solutions that we have, and also because of how new technology is very much shaping the way that the sector is developing. Use of artificial intelligence, use of autonomy, i.e., pilotless aircraft, pilotless operation, another advanced technology on board, radars and sensors and cameras and 5G connectivity, satellite connectivity, etc. All of that is absolutely shaping the way this sector is evolving. For those of you who are like, yeah, okay, great. Well, I don't really want to work on an aircraft. That's totally fine. Because this industry is not just about the planes, the drones, the air taxis, it's the whole ecosystem, it's the whole world that we're building, really. It's about transforming how we move. Those of you actually, yes, thank you so much, everybody. I can see the message coming through. A question to you all. What came first, the roads or the cars? Let me know. Let me know. Let's add a bit of a few more questions that weren't planned. What came first, the roads or the cars? And in the meantime, I'll keep let's vote in the chat, and I'll keep talking to you in terms of the ecosystem. It is much more than about the than the aircraft. It is about transforming how we move. It's about the new types of infrastructure solutions, the new airports of the future. It's about the new regulations. It's about the way that we come up with business models and engage with customers. It's about how do we pretty much again connect communities with speed, with access, with at a fraction of a cost compared to your Ubers, I would say, or your traditional airline industry. How do you do all of that at scale? Air traffic control as well. I can see nobody decided to take me up on my little question. What came first, the roads or the cars? A lot of people say it's the sorry, I can see messages coming through. So one person saying the road is the first version of what we would call a road came about in the Roman times, whereas and then there's I think more coming, and then roads, cars, roads. Yes, so that's okay. So good point then. In terms of I suppose I should have specified um, what I mean by a road. So let's just say the road that when I say road, I mean the road that cars are using at the moment. You know, your pretty much, concrete and cement and all of that stuff. So cars, roads, right, apologies. That is the car originally appeared in the 1910s. So let's just say when Ford made the first car, the roads as we know them, together with the petrol stations, none of that existed. So first was the car, and then everything else was created around it. So really, the point is we're seeing the same thing here. We're seeing the same thing with other technology as well, where you need to start somewhere, but all around it, you need to grow the rest of the supporting infrastructure. You need to come up with digital solutions. You need to come up um, with different, well, in this case, charging solutions as well, um, all sorts of things. So it is a whole new world that needs to be created. And for that, of course, we need talent, we need workforce, and we need different skills. And of course, it is about real world applications, from medical delivery to medical aid delivery to green logistics to emergency response. And West Midlands Police already using drones today to battle crime. And Uber already looked into it in the past as well, and actually how to integrate these solutions into the existing Uber app. Emergency services like ambulance are looking to use these air taxis, eVTOLs, excuse me, as part of their fleet as well, alongside of their helicopters. We really are talking about a revolution in the skies. And what's interesting is I love this slide. I'm sorry if you don't like too many numbers and too many words, but I love the slide because when and if you are like, oh, this is a great story, Maria, but tell me more. What's the substance of it? Hopefully, this helps you understand that it's not just a story. This is the living proof of how much money has been invested into the sector, how much money the sector is predicted to generate over the coming years, but also where did this money go to? And it's primarily towards innovation, innovative battery technology, innovative aircraft solutions. There's over 1,000 aircraft that exist, 1,000 designs that have been created. Thankfully, not all of them will be flying in our skies. We'll have only several solutions. Most of these will converge into just a few players that will be operating, like your Airbuses and Boeings and other large original equipment manufacturers in traditional aviation and civil aviation. Same here. We'll only have probably several, but this is where the money has been going so far. And the market potential is huge and the promise is absolutely vast. But what I'm really interested in, what Flight Crowd is very much focusing on, is the number of jobs that will be created in this sector, and very much how are we going to make sure that this sector delivers on all the promises that it's making, on all the investment that has gone into it to date. I.e., how are we going to upskill and retain and capture all the talent, excite all the talent, i.e., yourselves, future workforce, and two, how are we going to make sure that the public actually feels like they can trust this technology, like this technology can operate in our skies, like people are not worried about being looked at from the skies and their living being recorded by the cameras on board of these drones. So we need the talent and we need the users. We need the workforce and the end users to very much support this industry. Otherwise, it will not materialize. And this is exactly what Flycard has been focusing on, very much the people. We're slowly getting towards the careers. And again, we're gonna vast majority of you, those of you who joined us at the start and have taken part in the poll, have said you are either in college or school or university or recent graduates. So this slide is very much for you guys. The opportunities here are huge. And it's not just about the engineers or the pilots or the cabin crew. Those are the obvious jobs a commercial aviation sense. But when it comes to future flight sector, we're talking about new materials and manufacturing specialists that are required, new vehicle design and city planners that will be creating these solutions to make sure that future flight is integrated into ground transportation, marine transportation, all the other modes of transportation, all the other ways of living that we have. How about risk and certification as well? Who's going to be regulating the skies? How are we going to make sure that people are safe both in air and on the ground? I've mentioned radars and sensors and autonomy. There's social aspects and equity and inclusion, and there's sustainability, environmental concerns. We know that drones have been having quite a bit of bad rep recently because of where they have been operated. I just want to be clear that Flycrowd is focusing on drones for good because my firm belief is that this technology can and should benefit communities globally. And most of us wouldn't need to pay to be able to use this or benefit from it, especially when in cases of emergency services and postal delivery and blood transportation, etc., etc. But in order to be able to do all of this, we need people with a range of skills, with a range of passions, a range of interests. And so whatever it is that you guys are interested in, hopefully kind of you see my thinking here. It starts from those darker circles in the middle where depending what you might be interested in, and I kind of pick some of the more generic, I suppose, subjects that you can study or you might like, and then I'm going into different careers. The degrees that will be required to operate in these jobs, they don't exist. Moreover, I'm not sure they will be created, and I'm not sure the industry, well, I know that for sure, that the industry isn't requiring you to study vertiport engineering because that's not there. But what will be required is a series of different experiences and skills that you can bring together in a portfolio approach. And there's several tailored experiences, such as courses and training that you'll be able to use and find as top ups. And once you put it all together in a CV, in a little package, that's you. And that's how relevant you are to the sector. And that's your offering to the sector. Because once again, we don't have degrees at the moment, at least at the college, apprenticeship, and university level, undergraduate level, we don't have degrees that prepare you for this future of aviation that is being created today. So it is in your hands to decide how you can make your mark and how to get into the sector because there's definitely no right or wrong answer because so we need everybody to get involved and everybody's welcome. So next question, and this is just perfect timing for me to take a sip of water. How familiar are you with Flycrowd's work? Let me end this poll and then start this new one. How familiar are you with Flycrowd's work? There we go. So we've got, I'm completely new. I follow you in socials. I'm a volunteer. I attended one of your events as an attendee. I'm just going to give you a moment. Once again, we have a great split here. Oh, I'm loving this. And I'm so glad the polls are working as well. So we've got 33 of you are completely new, 33%, or sorry, 33%. 33% are a volunteer. So, well, not a half, no. I was going to say half. That's not a half. I can do maths. I'm an engineer. 30% of you, oh, it's now back to 30s, right. 30, 30, 30, completely new, follow you on socials and a volunteer, and 10% I attended one of your events as an attendee. Right, okay, so we have a great mixture. Well, once again, welcome all. We're a little bit old, but hopefully, apologies if you've been or if you've seen some of this in the past. But let's just go over it all again. And I'll try and make it different and make it relevant, make it exciting, even if you aren't hearing it for the first time. So, introducing Flycrowd. So, Flycrowd, we are an educational not-for-profit. We empower next generations of innovators and leaders to shape the future flight sector. Why? Well, I'll tell you why in a second. I actually have a separate slide for this, but we're here to very much help you to go from wherever you are in your career, in your educational background, wherever you are with whatever portfolio of those skills and experiences you have, to getting into the sector. We specifically try to focus on electric aviation, future flight, because, well, let's be honest, there's plenty of other incredible organizations working in civil aviation, in aerospace that are doing a great job at pretty much doing a similar thing, but focusing on those sectors. But future flight is my background and definitely my area of expertise because I think, well, there's definitely a lot of things that need to change in the traditional aviation aerospace sector. I can't change them all, but there is this incredible opportunity to shape the future. And I thought it would be incredible to make sure that those doors and those opportunities remain open to as many of you as possible from everywhere around the world, from all backgrounds. So you are able to get involved and you are able to make sure that the future aircraft are created inclusive by design, by price point. They are accessible. The industry is perceived as safe, as sustainable, that basically will build it right from the start. And so Flight Crowd, we provide a range of different meaningful experiences and opportunities for young people to get involved. I'll keep focusing on young people because we do have a large, vast majority of you in the attendance here today. Educational webinars and workshops, outreach programs, masterclasses, volunteering. I'll come back to this and I'll cover it in a bit more detail in a moment. But this slide I like more than anything because of all these people, because of all these faces, some of which you can't even recognize. Some of you on the call here are also on these photos. And I know that we've done so many events over the past 5 years. And thankfully, there's never a problem for me to find a new photo, another great photo from our event, because we've done so many. And as you can see, and hopefully you will be able to see somebody who looks just like you, similar to you in background, similar to you in age, because Flight Card is for everybody. We pride ourselves in pretty much opening our doors to our community and opening doors to the sector for anybody. And in the nicest way possible, I always say I don't care how old you are. A lot of the time when I was younger, I was told that I was too young and I was too inexperienced. I don't think this should be the barrier. I don't think this should be the reason for why you can't make a difference in the sector that I'm talking about. So that's what I mean when I say in the nicest way possible. It doesn't matter to me how old you are. What does matter is how passionate are you to make a difference? How passionate and interested are you to get involved, to get on board, to get stuck in? Because that to me speaks volumes. And so Flight Crowd really was founded when a lot of people um, felt lost, felt excluded because we were founded during the pandemic. And that is definitely the feeling that I had. I was very fortunate to have a job at the time, but I knew loads of people who were left without one. And I was sat there thinking, oh no, my goodness, we have this huge opportunity in future flight. We will need pilots and engineers and mechanics and air traffic managers and infrastructure developers and many more to make sure this sector lives. And now we are getting rid of people in civil aviation just because nobody's flying. That's how Flight Code was kind of created from my experience and love for outreach, and from my experience and network in future flight sector. Um, I really want to make sure that the opportunities I had to fight for are now visible and accessible to others. And that's why, again, there's so many of you here on the call, and there's so many of you here on the photos. And the core message here is that if you're here today, you already belong in this sector. You are enough, and there is a community here for you of people who are going through similar things. And we are really here all, my team and I are here to make sure that your journey is much easier than it ever was for me and some of my friends and colleagues. We want to make sure that you're supported. So that's a bit about Flight Crowd. But I thought for those of you who like a bit of strategy and vision and mission and values, we can talk about values for 4 hours. I won't today, but just very briefly, the vision here is we want to make sure that there are meaningful pathways into modern aviation that are created for people, as I'll keep saying, regardless of your background. And you're able to contribute to building a safer, cleaner, more inclusive future flight sector. And the mission, well, we are here to make sure that young people like yourselves understand, engage, and shape this rapidly evolving sector. And so Why it matters and what is it that we're doing and why it matters? Well, it's all about raising the voice, championing inclusion, and building career readiness. And I'll talk a bit more into as to how exactly we can help you prepare for your future career in this sector in a moment. But why? Well, because I know that if we don't do it today, if we are not inspiring young people today who are currently in schools and colleges and in university, then by the time the sector needs thousands of pilots to operate these air taxis, we won't have enough. Um, and also, we really need accessible pathways, inclusive design, and public understanding, again, to also make sure that the end users are there. So Flight Crowd is here for all and making sure we this industry is really something that is co-created. And so our impact, I'm not going to go through all of this. But I wanted to say that Flight Crowd has been here not only in the UK, but also around the world. Um, in some cases, the pandemic helped to make sure that we spread our message globally. But we have a community of volunteers and young people who join us from Turkey to Australia to Canada and all the other parts of the world. We have helped, well, probably at this point, about 2 million individuals that we've reached through different forms of outreach workshops. And teachers, parents, young people come back to us and ask for us to come back to them and deliver more. And I'm not gonna again keep going through all the great things we've done, but it's everything I'm just gonna say is there are loads of numbers and there are loads of people who we interact with. But Flight Crowd isn't just somebody who's collecting numbers. We are not here to just make sure we've got a big badge saying, oh, we've reached everybody in this world. No, every face matters. And the more times we see your face, the more times we see your interest, the more we want to support you. Because really, I want to make sure that this future is built by outstanding individuals. If you don't think that you are one, well, okay, let's start with you being great, and we'll help you get to outstanding. We'll help you A, believe that you are that, and B, upskill you to that point. Because we really need people who can tackle all sorts of challenges, who tackle all sorts of problems, and who are ready to very much face the world that we have today and definitely the world that we have tomorrow. That's a bit about us. You're not just a number. You are very, very important. And those of you on the call who know me, who've worked with me, you'll see that being part of Flight Crowd, you will get access to me and my diary, and I really want to help. And same with senior leadership within our team. Um, we all are here. We're very much hands-on because we care. So, question: what aspect of Flight Crowd's work interests you? That's another little poll for you guys. Um, we've got career opportunities, advice, and guidance, and feel free to choose everything that applies to you. Industry visits and events, mentoring, networking opportunities, scholarships and grants, volunteering, and not too sure, still exploring. Oh, there's pretty much everything. Is everybody, apart from not too sure, which is good. Right, so we've got 100% industry visits and events. Everybody wants that. Sounds good. Taken on board. Networking opportunities is our second favorite, closely followed by career opportunities, advice, and guidance. And then we've got mentoring, scholarships, and volunteering coming after that, pretty much with the same split. Awesome. Everything taken, everything remembered. I'm gonna answer the poll here as well. We've got all the results are saved. So thank you so much for this. So awesome. Basically, you said that you're interested in everything they're doing. Great. That's a brilliant, brilliant piece of news. Um, so then to your point, in the chat as well, is there much involvement within the military aviation side of things? Do you mean with Flight Crowd? Do we cover that at all? Or do you mean in general in the future flight sector, is there much kind of crossover with military? That's my question, what number one to you. And question number two, sorry. Yeah, no, sorry, I forgot. Just one question. Please let me know, and I'll come back to you in a moment. In terms of let's kind of probably skip the educators and industry part, if unless somebody else has joined from one of those two areas. So, educators, we do a lot of work with academia, with schools and colleges, and we have partnerships and we're continuing to expand it to make sure that this kind of outreach and opportunities are available to you from classroom onwards. For industry, well, it's very, very important to us, obviously, because young people, we kind of see it this way. Young people and are here, same with kind of education. Now we've got industry and flight coders in the middle here being the bridge to make sure you go from that academia or wherever you are again at the moment, college students, university students, maybe currently taking a gap year, anything like that, to that dream career. We want to be that bridge. So for industry, we absolutely connect the industry with you. We co-create content and events, and we absolutely have a number of different partnership routes from scholarships to mentoring support. But let's kind of skip all that in the interest of today's session, especially because we don't have that many educators and industry professionals, young people. Um, I almost I almost knew that we were going to have so many of you on the call, which is brilliant. So this big column here, this big part of this slide is all for you. Flight Crowd, we've been here for 5 years, and we are known primarily for the boot camps. The boot camps have been our largest outreach program, with which we've reached over 400 students all around the UK, and we've delivered that for over 2 years. It was a week-long program, and that was fantastic. But that finished in February, and we sat down and thought, what else did we do? Because I knew for sure that I didn't want to be known just for one thing, and I didn't want to offer just one type of support. I really understand that wherever you are in your career, your needs will be different from somebody else who's 5 years younger or 5 years older. So, for those of you who are already at university or just finished university, potentially that career support and CV support, interview preparation, mentoring, etc., might be much more relevant than it might be for somebody who's at the start of their career, who's 14 or 16 years old, who isn't sure what next step to take. So that's why we created this little menu of activities and portfolio of different support opportunities that we offer, from webinars and workshops to masterclasses on future flight and career skills. Today and especially later next month, sorry, we are going to be launching a series of events and webinars that are specifically dedicated to different career opportunities in future flight, as well as career skills and helping you acquire those career skills regardless of where you go. Experiential visits and behind the scenes industry tours, exclusive member content. We've launched our membership as well. So that's all running, and we have a separate webinar talking about the membership. Additionally, we've got mentoring scheme that we've been running for our Flight Crowd mentees, and most recently we've collaborated with APAS as well to make sure that we cover even more students and offer even more opportunities to learn from industry scholarships and awards. We've had our first round of scholarships earlier this year. Work experience, volunteering and part-time roles. We are all volunteer-led. There are part-time roles, however, when we do have a range of industry projects, and also those free online community. Maybe actually, interestingly, well, I'm going to ask you guys, how many of you have heard of our WhatsApp? Let us know in the chat. Have you heard of our WhatsApp, or if you're in it already, put a plus if you're in it or if you've heard of it, and put a minus if you haven't heard of it, if you don't know about it, because I'll explain what I mean by this free online community. Yes, and so in the meantime, stay in touch in general, flight card and industry updates and stuff as well. So let's see. Yes, I've got plus, plus, plus. Right, awesome. Everybody's in flight card WhatsApp. Fantastic. Then I'm preaching to the converted. Awesome. Then to your point earlier in terms of the military, so yes, there's definitely a lot of military usage of drones, of future flight technology, by a range. We're not going to talk about it too much today because it is quite a sensitive topic, and I definitely don't want to upset anybody. But fortunately or unfortunately, this technology is very powerful. And so we do see a lot of the companies that are exploring both the emergency responses or using their drones for emergency response and things like parcel delivery, also taking part in a range of different conflicts that are taking place around the world. Unfortunately, quite a few of those companies, I believe, had to make those decisions based on the funding available. Even though that much money has been invested into the sector, it's still not enough if you think about how much money it takes to develop, design, um, and build a prototype and then certify an aircraft, be it a drone or be it especially a human carrying aircraft. Regulations are not necessarily in place. And so, for a lot of the companies that we have spoken to, some of them have fully transitioned into defense, some of them are looking to expand their portfolio or have already expanded it. It is largely because the times dictate the means, I think is the saying. And so even though initially people weren't looking at that, because the funding is available, because that is a way to fast track their technology to market, that is something that they're exploring. Within Flight Crowd, I'll be honest, we have a number of people, including myself, who come from a defense background. Um, I'm also Ukrainian. Just loads of revelations for you today. I'm also Ukrainian, and I did used to work in defense sector. Um, we don't focus on it as much. There are a number of volunteers who come from defense, but in going forward, our a lot of our workshops and webinars, all of that will be very much focusing on future flight sector and very much the roles available in electric aviation in joins for good space, shall we say. However, sometimes when people, for instance, ask for us to bring our colleagues who've done apprenticeships, because apprenticeships are currently not really available within electric aviation, we go back to our friends and colleagues in the range of the civil aviation and defence aviation um, backgrounds, I should say. That's kind of my answer to that question. So, yes, unfortunately, there are drones are being used for everything. Um, Everybody needs to make their own choice. We're not here to judge. We're not here to say that either is good or bad. But Flightcard we very much try and focus on drones for good because trust me, there's so many more exciting opportunities, like life-saving opportunities within Barcelona. Oh, I really want to share. If you guys are all on WhatsApp, I'm going to share loads of different links after the call as well to some of my personal favorite ways in which drones have been used over the past years. And I really, really hope that we're going to be seeing much more of that in the future. Right, how are we doing? 13 past, right. So this slide, I haven't even started talking about this slide. So this slide, really, I mean, this QR code, and feel free guys to scan the QR code as well. It leads to my Calendly, if I'm not mistaken. There's quite a few QR codes coming up. It leads to my Calendly, which is my calendar, which basically means you are able to book a call with me to talk about your career, talk about what we can do together. On the left-hand side, however, are some of the people that we have been working with. And as you can see, they're pretty small logos because I started running out of space pretty fast. Um, we're fortunate to work with the UK government, colleagues around the world, governments and governmental agencies. We've worked with media and events and charitable organizations. Different colleges, universities, and that list is growing as we speak. For the last 5 years, we've focused a lot on delivery of our boot camps and kind of the fixed format and a small range of speakers. But we definitely, as we're expanding our portfolio of events and opportunities, we're definitely growing that list and establishing more partnerships because once again, I want to make sure that we build a strong bridge to help you go from where you are to being in the industry. That's a bit about this slide. And then do I have another poll coming up? No, but I wanted to very quickly say, so again, I ran out of space. I was trying to put all of these events, but this is just a bit of an at a glance. Take a look at everything that Flight Crowd is doing over the past, well, yeah, over the next, sorry, 3 months or so. So November today, we've got two events. We've got an event tomorrow. Got an event on Thursday. We've got several in December. Yep, it's going to be busy pre-Christmas time. And now we're still planning kind of January onwards. And much more of this information will be revealed in our membership webinar on getting the most from Flight Card membership, 11th of December. So I just wanted to put this slide, and I'm going to be sharing it afterwards as well across our socials, to say, look, we've got opportunities from our PASIK mentoring scheme, and we are looking to potentially extend it into new year to continue running this and open more opportunities for all of you to get mentored by industry mentors, to working with our partners across from different organizations, such as the course Foundations and Regional Air Mobility tomorrow, where Flight Card members get free spaces to that otherwise a non-free event. Pilot's Career Spotlight webinar with a great pilot, Amina, who's also a Speedbird Pilot Academy attendant. I know quite a few of you, if you are interested in piloting, you would have heard about Speedbird Academy by BA. So she'll be talking to us and about her experience, getting the most from Flight Card membership webinars and virtual networking. We've got definitely in February a lot more meetups in person and virtually. We've got more career webinars. But yes, we will be talking much more about it in December, whilst when we are running the Getting the Most from Flight Card membership webinar, because I'll be honest with you, we will try and have very much a mixture of opportunities that are free for all and available, but we are trying to also make sure that our members, at the moment, membership is £5 for the whole year, so that our members are getting the most of that out of their membership. So we're going to have a series of both types of different events and opportunities. More about membership. More about membership. You'll hear about it 11th of December. But essentially, if you don't know much, it's all about interest and insight groups. So, say for instance, that webinar with pilots, Insight and Amina coming to talk to us. That is going to be just delivered as part of our insight groups for pilots. We've got mentoring scheme and scholarships that are exclusively members only. We've got executive guidance and advice and things like that other webinar that's happening tomorrow, or we've got free spaces. That's all for members only as well. So we really are trying to make sure that we reach everybody. And again, you see how many founders and CEOs have you heard of? Have you heard from, sorry, delivering their little introductions? How many webinars? Let me know if you have been to more than one at least talks, apart from conferences, I suppose, where CEOs and founders have spoken to everybody and just kind of shared this, talked about their organization, how you can get involved and supported you. I don't think there are that many, but with Flight Card, I'll try and give my time and my energy to as many of you as possible, as much as I can. But as mentioned, we've got this extra support and extra level of help available for our members. And another thing I wanted to ask you guys about, what are you most interested in exploring with Flight Crowd? It could be specific topics, it could be opportunities, it could be organizations that you are interested from hearing, in hearing from. Let us know. Because I know, for instance, Pilots Inside Group, that was born out of feedback that was provided to us by students. Same with the scholarships, same as pretty much most of the things we do. So this is a great opportunity for you to shape what we do going forward. So please let us know. What is it? If everything is fine based on what I was saying, great. Just say it's all good. It's all fine. Keep going. And if you have any suggestions, speaker suggestions, come promise Elon Musk or Richard Branson, or I'm not sure who's popular these days. Shows my age. But we can try our best. Emergency services like aerial firefighting, work experience. Yep, I'm making a note of all of that. That's brilliant. So work experience, last time we run our work experience earlier this summer. We are hoping to run another one in, I want to say, February's half term, and definitely next summer as well, but we might be able to do something earlier. Let us know if you're interested in work experience. Let us know what is your availability or what are the dates. Because again, we work around, well, we'll try align with your availability. Emergency services sounds good. We can definitely look into that. We're definitely, in fact, we've had previously we worked with London Fire Brigade, who are using the drones for their services for their work in their work. Same with West Midlands Police as well. We've had them on our webinars in the past, um, and them talking about literally showing some footage of from the drones when they were well fighting crime essentially. So that's good. Any more for any more? More on aircraft engineering world and the pilot side and anything that will help me move forward in the aircraft industry. I like that. Aerospace engineering. Cool. Aerospace engineering, we've got an apprentice webinar coming up in January, I want to say. Aircraft engineering. That's great. Josie, let me know what are you thinking? Is it more kind of 3D modeling? Is it, I suppose, aircraft engineering more hands-on? Hmm. Okay. Okay. This is all great. Keep it coming, guys. Keep it coming. I can't promise that it's all going to happen before the end of the year, but sometimes Santa is delayed and Christmas presents are going to be delayed till January. Keep writing your wishes, and we will do our best to make sure we deliver in the new year for sure. But this is all great. Thank you so much. And if you can think of anything else, please feel free to drop it in the chat. So we are nearly there. And you know what? For those of you who know me, this is very surprising because I'm 10 minutes ahead of schedule. Normally, we're always late. But this is the last slide. And I just wanted to say, well, hopefully you liked it. Hopefully you can see what is it that Flight Guard is focusing on. Who are we? What is the sector that we work in? Why? Why should you care? But in summary, we need you. The sector is super exciting, and um, Flight Crowd is hopefully that one way to get involved. As I said, we work and we appreciate and we love our colleagues at the Royal Aeronautical Society, the Air League, and all the other charities, the Honourable Company of Air Pilots, Elevate Her, many others who are doing incredible, incredible work. We work with all of them because A, there's no competition. We're all supporting each other. We're all here for you. For Flight Crowd, why joining Flight Crowd? Well, because this is definitely an opportunity to shape the future and learn more about what you can do post school, college, university. Get ready, get trained, and meet people. Be a part of an, I'll be honest, an awesome network where, yeah, everybody really, really cares from the all the volunteers, the seniors, putting in the hours, putting in the work more than anybody else, because we believe in this future. And we believe that this future should be made by you and for you. So really hope that you can join us in building this aviation world of tomorrow, the skies of tomorrow, and we can do it all together. So please feel free to join our WhatsApp community, although it seems like everybody already has. Volunteering, we're going to be opening more opportunities later in the new year. We're going to be running a separate webinar so you're able to hear from other volunteers who work in different parts of our organisation. During mentoring as a mentor or a mentee, we've done 2 mentoring schemes as part of Flight Crowd so far, very different, and we're probably going to be rebranding one of them as more kind of career skills program, attending our events, and I will be posting more in our WhatsApp community on our website. We are just fixing our events page. Become a member. Again, it's just £5 until the end of the for a year, before 31st of December. Partner, if you're in industry or donate, then stay in touch. And I've left my contact details as well at the bottom. That is everything from me. But I will pause here and read the chat and see if you guys have any questions. Feel free to unmute yourself, feel free to put something in the chat, or feel free to drop off. I don't want to be taken over your evening completely. I see a message. I want to gain work experience, particularly in the aviation sectors. I want to become an aircraft engineer. I feel like Josie and Suhail, apologies if I'm mispronouncing it. I feel like you guys should absolutely talk because it seems like one of you is doing what the other person wants to be doing. So there's definitely some collaboration potentially happening there. Maintenance is what I'm thinking going into, but analytical, practical, but not electrical. Anything practical, sorry. Anything practical, but not electrical. Still finding out more on the different and the different jobs. Love it. Okay, I'm literally making a note of all of this. I'm gonna be saving the chat and then going through it afterwards with the team. Sweet. Sounds good. Noted. What flight card offer any apprenticeships in the future? Oh, that's a great question. So, hmm, put it this way. Apprenticeships, in the way that I look at it, my colleagues and friends who have done or are doing apprenticeships, a lot of them are doing it with the industry. So, for instance, they would work at Airbus and they would do an apprenticeship with Airbus. Um, a lot of big companies are doing it as part of their scheme to kind of upskill young people who are coming fresh out of school, college, or maybe changing careers, etc. And then you're already working in the sector and you have kind of that job security and you're getting a degree. There are a number of organizations that also offer apprenticeships separately, and then you are then needing to look for a role, or maybe they help you find a placement, but it's kind of separate. I'll be honest with you, apprenticeships is a great subject, but I am a perfectionist. So if we were to do it, I would put in probably another couple of years to try and understand and make sure that we align with it. It's not something that we have considered doing in the near future, but I wouldn't say no in the future. But I would say in the meantime, there are definitely a number of other organizations who are offering fantastic opportunities. Speaking of which, we are working on several different resources, one of which being career opportunities in general in aerospace and future flight. And apprenticeships are also a part of that guide. We are working on it with the team as we speak. And I might probably open it for collaborative work. So if any of you guys want to contribute to it, I might be able to open it up for all of you as well. Because I think if we all contribute to kind of knowledge gathering, knowledge sharing, that everybody wins. So in short, we might, but we haven't thought about it so far. But there are definitely a number of great organizations who would be a brilliant next step for you. Please let me know if you have any work experience programs I can do for Flight Guard. Ha! Yes. So work experience as well. In terms of work experience, we hopefully are going to do a proper work experience week. So we always do a work experience week or 2 weeks sometimes. And we set up projects. We get a small group of people, up to 10 people, normally kind of up to seven. And then based on the makeup of the group, we always come up with a different project. So every time I send out a questionnaire to all the students who join us in the work experience program, and you fill in the questionnaire, tell me about your interests and your kind of roles that you want to be you're looking at in the future. And I create a project every time from scratch. However, there is slightly less traditional, shall I say, a work experience that we offer. Let's just call it project experience, project work, project opportunities. And that's something that we've done as well. So for instance, people coming to us earlier this summer and saying, look, I am in school. I'm going to be coming back to school in September, but I have 2 months or so where I would love to do something with you. And so we set them a task, and they have gone away and they have kind of worked with some of our volunteers, but also individually on their own on that project. And we had that flexible arrangement over a longer period of time where they've been able to get some experience as well. So I suppose that's what I mean in terms of we're so different. We really want to understand what are your interests, what are your passions, what are your hobbies, what are your constraints, and what else are you doing in life? So we can try and come up with something that's so tailored to you. Um, so can I suggest you come back to us, message us in the chat in WhatsApp because you can because if you're part of the community, there's like a few different chats that we have, and of course the business number for myself as well. Please get in touch with any kind of more specific questions, shall I say, and then we can always have another call, a one-to-one, and then discover what we can do together. Hopefully that's okay. And this is perfect timing. Um, no, just all, no worries. So just wanted to say thank you all of you for your time today. This is literally spot on, 7:30. Thank you for tonight. I am going to be available for messages and calls after this, so hopefully you have plenty of emails and WhatsApp numbers and all the other ways to reach us. And please stay in touch. And even if it isn't with Flight Crowd, I really hope that you're able to get into our sector and make a difference because we need you. So thank you so much for your time all. And I wish you all a wonderful evening. And yeah, take care of yourself. I'm hoping we'll see you soon. Speak to you later. Thanks all. Take care. Bye.